Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Flora Growth Corporation, ticker symbol FLGC. And I'm also going to be going over a number of other cannabis stocks following up on the video that I put out a few days ago. But I may not edit this one just because, I'm spread a little thin and it was requested that I do a follow-up. They've been so volatile, I thought I'd oblige. But yeah, if you do want another follow-up, just comment on this one and I'll do another one in a few days. So just let me know. But yeah, with Flora Growth Corporation. They closed on the day March 26th. As I do record this in the evening on Tuesday, they closed at a price of $2.06, being up nearly 22% on the day and continuing up about 1.5% in the after hours. And so there are a few things that stand out to me about this chart. One of those things is that relative to the other cannabis stocks I'll be talking about, this one has the smallest market cap with a market cap of 16.91 million. This one is potentially the most risky because of that. So, while there might be some violent move to the upside, there might be some violent moves to the upside, like 22%. There could be some violent moves to the downside as well, so do be cautious of that when trading this one. But there are some levels that I do still see to the upside, one being that we have this gap that was formed over here between the trading days of September 18th and 19th, and that is at a price of $2.35, so being just about 30 cents above the closing price. I do think that could be a level of significant resistance, as there were probably some buyers here that are just waiting to offload their shares, happy to be offloading them, catching a breath of fresh air. So that could be a pretty notable level of resistance, so do pay attention to that. Then the next level up that I do see is at $2.93.5, marked by the orange line. Really, what I see is just there's a pivot low there, then we did get a break above that, big wick higher, but that does seem like it was a pivot top. Then we did get some consolidation above that level with a wick down on September 5th to a price of $2.96. So just above that orange line. I do think that could be another level to be contending with in the near future. And then also I do have this red line, which is based really on the low hit on January 11th of 2023, so a little over a year ago. That did act as support before this big move up came back, acted as a little bit of support, some fake out breaks over here, and then also as resistance over here. This big wick that I was just talking about did pierce the red line, and then we did consolidate just below it over here. And that red line is at a price of $3.82.6. So another level price could be going to. But, I could also see price pulling back. Really, right around $1.40, we do have all of this consolidation here that you can see the tops of those wicks, those candles. That could be acting as support if we do get a pullback. Does look like it was resistance over here. And so any resistance in the past will then be later support, and that's because you have all of this consolidation there. That is, people who are buying at that level, they will probably buy again. If it does dip down below their average, that will then act as support. But also, I do want to point out that the day's candle for the 26th was a bullish engulfing candle, completely engulfed the candle from the day before. So that is potentially bullish. That price will continue higher tomorrow on March 27th. However, a big thing that we will want to be paying attention to is this high that was hit yesterday on the 25th. That was at a price of $2.17. So, if we can't get a close above 217, that does suggest that the top is in. So I would look for not only one close above that level, but a second confirming close above that price that would then suggest that price could be continuing higher to the levels that I just went over. But now continuing on to the other tickers, I am just going to start with CGC, which is Canopy Growth Corporation, ticker symbol CGC. Did go over this just a couple days ago. And so what I see with this one is it does look like there's some consolidation here. It's pretty wide ranging, having been up on the day, 16.61% closing on the 26th at a price of $7.23. Lots of volatility here. So, I do think this is, potentially suggesting that, either a top could be in. We did get a big wick high today, hitting a price of $8.24. Could not quite get to $8.35. However, though, this could just be some consolidation before the next leg up. We have not yet gotten a close below $5.99, which was, basically this double top that we saw here before the pullback. And now we are above that. And since that was based on this gap here, we do have those double tops there. This could be serving as a lot of support. So if we do see a pullback below $6 or $5.99 as marked here, that may not be very good, but especially if we get a close below that level. We have not seen that yet, so I do think if we get a close below $6, that could be suggesting we might be pulling back to this uptrending level. That would be right around, let's see, a price of about $4.60. But I could see price consolidating here before continuing higher, as we have not yet hit this level at $8.35. But if we do, that could be forming a double top. So look for weakness there. We still do have a lot of volume, so that does suggest price could be going higher. However, the move today was less volume than we saw with this big candle. So it is quite possible that volume is diminishing as we do hang out up here, and that could suggest a pullback is coming. So do be careful of that. But if we can get above $8.35, I do think this downtrending level up here around $18, quite possible we could be heading there, but actually I do see this pivot high here around $10.60, $10.50. That might be the next level if we can close and hold above $8.35. But then moving on to the next one, I believe, TLRY did remind me of CGC. So this is ticker symbol here, TLRY brands, which is TLRY. And that closed at a price of $2.31 on the day, being up about 7.5%. Continuing up about 0.5% in the after hours. But here it doesn't look like we've gotten a bullish engulfing candle, as we did close at the open price of yesterday, which was $2.31, exactly that. So this does suggest to me that we could be putting in a top, getting these big wicks to the upside, suggesting that there are no buyers above about price of $2.37. All of these wicks up to that level, no buyers up there. That's why price pulls back down to $2.31. But I do think it is encouraging that yesterday on the 25th, we did get a pullback to this downtrending level, closed above it though. So that does suggest that could be acting as support. And so I would look for whether or not closes are below that downtrend. And if you do want to draw that, let's see, that's a parallel channel. You could approximate that based on the high that was hit on, let's see, December 5th. That was at a price of $5.12. And then the other pivot point looks like it was, let's see, I thought it was right around here. Yep, so that pivot point was the high hit on, let's see, September 5th. And that was at a price of, I believe, $3.40. Yes. So you could draw a pivot to those points, and that would get you that downtrend. And so you would not want to see a close below that. Or, you really could just look to this high that was hit on March 18th. That was at a price of $2.04. We get a close below that. That could suggest prices going lower. But you always want to look for that second close, confirmation close. because it could always be just a fake out. So keep an eye out for that. But, we have not hit this level up here at 254. That would then put in a double top. So I could see a reversal following getting up to there. So I would keep an eye out for that. But if we do consolidate around this level and are holding above 204, that could be a bull flag before a move past $2.54. So I would actually think that's a more bullish case for the stock longer term moving forward. If we consolidate around where current price is, then I think we could break above 254. If we do push higher, I think that there would be some weakness. The action would be dying out, and we'd probably get rejected from 254. So I'd say consolidation down here is better than moving up to 254. Patience is key when investing, and right now, if you want to be holding this, I think it's in a pretty good position. It does have these two levels, the downtrend and 204 below the price, so I do think that looks pretty good. But now moving on, going back to, let's see, Kronos Group, which is ticker symbol CRON. Here we do have a close above this level that I had highlighted in Sunday's video. That was at a price of $2.57. That does correspond with what would be a double top here, but we did put in a higher high. So that does suggest some strength there. Also, if we're looking at the RSI, it does look like that was also a higher high. So that does suggest that there is no divergence. And if there was divergence, looking at tops, if you see tops that are misaligned, basically you have higher highs or lower highs in the price, and then the opposite of that in the RSI as far as the highs go, that would then be bearish divergence. We don't see that. We see higher highs in the price as well as in the RSI. So that suggests that there is momentum, there is strength or relative strength in the stock price, so it could be going higher. So I would look for another close above 257, as yesterday on the 25th, I am recording this in the evening of the 26th, we got to close below 257, so we closed on that day at a price of $2.49. So really, I think just like 250, that's kind of a psychological level. But we are seeing these wicks, and these wicks are progressively moving higher, which you might think as being bullish. However, if these wicks are moving higher and getting longer, that's suggesting that the buyers are not really stepping up with the price. Although, we do see that a little bit with the close on the 22nd being at a price of $2.61, moving up by 4 cents. That's suggesting that buyers are pushing the price a little bit higher, but, it's perhaps a little bit negligible, only being a few cent difference. So I would look for that. We are seeing wicks to the upside, whereas to the downside, we're not seeing too big of wicks. So that is suggesting that, buyers are stepping in here. Prices that buyers, let's think about that. We're not seeing buyers stepping up here. That's why we're seeing such big wicks. But we are, holding this level here. So I guess what you want to look for is the low of the day, the 26th. That was at a price of $2.45. So we are seeing progressively lower lows here. So that's really not that great. So I would look for a close below the low. We have not seen that yet. Yesterday on the 25th, we got a low of $2.45.5 and a close at a price of $2.49. We did get a lower open and a lower low, but our close was higher. This is a bullish engulfing candle. So, it might seem bearish that we are going lower in the price. The low is lower. We're not getting a lower close, and that's what you'd want to look for. If we do get a lower close, like a close lower than the previous day's low, or this low of, $2.45.5. If we see a close below 245, that could be the beginning of moving down, but you got to look for that confirmation signal. That is a second closing below that level. But right now, I could see consolidation, especially if we're holding 257, and that could then be a move to the upside, perhaps getting to like 287, 290, seeing a little bit of consolidation around here. Above that will be tough to get through because of all this price action. That means that there will probably be sellers there. People who have been holding the bag up here, they want to offload those shares as soon as price gets up to their price, especially with $3 a share being here. That is a psychological, whole number that may act as resistance before we do get up to 359. So do keep that in mind. And then finally, just going to go over Sundial here. This one also reminded me of Cronos Group. And I should mention Sundial, not Sundial, SNDL, ticker symbol SNDL. This one also did move up to the high level that I had marked, this line here at $1.97.5. However, we did close just below it at a price of $1.97, having moved up almost 14% on the day, pulling back about 0.5% in the after hours. The high of the day was $1.99, so it is a bit discouraging that we couldn't get up to $2 a share and close at that price. Could suggest that there is maybe a sell wall right around $2, people just setting their sell prices at $2. It does seem to, correspond with this high over here. Let's see, that was at a price of, $1.97.5 as I have marked here. And so since we're just getting to that level, that psychological level of $2 a share, not only being a whole number, also being a round number, so it's got that to it as well, this might have a tough time moving higher. But if it does, if it can push higher, I could see it going to around $2.12, where you do have the pivot highs here, the wicks coming up to around that level. So I would look for that. But really, with this big green candle, what we need to see is consolidation, just like we saw here, a little bit of sideways action before the next leg up. So hopefully there isn't too much of a pullback tomorrow. If there is one, hopefully we see more consolidation, because then that could suggest a continuation to the upside, like getting to 212, or perhaps taking out this previous high at $2.36. So that is another thing to be looking for in the chart. And hopefully that rough overview was helpful for you guys. If you did enjoy this, make sure you let me know in the comments down below. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you like it, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more coverage of these cannabis stocks and others that you happen to request. Thanks a lot for watching.